pair of 2-0 teams. It's been 25 years since the Hawks and the Hokies have played in Southwest Virginia. Here we go, the second week of the college basketball season. Virginia Tech and St. Joe's underway.
Both teams play man-to-man. They don't really pressure, except pressure in the basketball. They're in the gaps. Both teams will play a little conservative on the defensive end, not so much on the offensive end.
Tough basket, no problem. Neoklis Avdalas.
Right where he left off on the way to a 107-point effort for Mike Young's team on Saturday against Providence.
What a game that was. Meanwhile, St. Joe's coming in off a win against Drexel.
St. Joe's will do a lot of Princeton-type stuff on the offense, and the guy we talked about takes the first shot.
Avdalas to Hansberry, had the huge three in overtime. Lawal unable to get that three-point shot to go.
Tobi Lawal's really worked on the shooting since he's been here, 37% a year ago. He thinks he's even better than that this time. Of course, that's not his specialty. We'll see that later on the highlight reel.
Johnson rejected at the rim. Head coach of the Hokies, Mike Young, in his 7th year at Virginia Tech. A lot of excitement around this squad coming into the year. He's got to be pleased 2 games in.
Yeah, both these coaches, a lot of similarities. We'll talk about that as the game goes on, but Mike Young has assembled a really good crew after a disappointing year last year. He's very excited about this group.
Bedford, patient. Hansberry can't finish with the left hand.
Hansberry's gotten off to a really good start. He's missed some perimeter shots, but he's been a beast on the backboard.
Bedford, the head fake. No look to Hansberry for the two-hand flush.
You got to close out on Bedford. Shot fake, drive it to the hole, and dish to the big guy for the finish.
By number 0, Jaden Bedford.
Last year, St. Joe's with a double-digit win. Back-to-back years, the Hawks and the Hokies have met in the non-conference. Opening points, Desir Haskins.
Yeah, that's why we featured him. It's been very, very good, and really had a good year last year, but they're expecting even bigger things out of him for his sophomore season.
Lawal, Avdalas with 8 to shoot, contested, and misfires. Ajabal the rebound. Derek Simpson played a career-high 38 minutes last year against Virginia Tech. The senior runs the show for the Hawks.
See big Ajabal entering the offense through him. He's really good down low, but
and there's the two-hand flush from Simpson.
Point guard. He's the real leader on this team. The transfer from Rutgers.
Quick 5 points for St. Joe's. First lead, opening minutes. Hansberry creates positioning, and we'll head to the line.
Really nice job, a little cross screen right there.
Fouls on St. Joseph's, 22, Justice Tyler.
There's the head coach of the Hawks, Steve Donahue, who was hired in May to be the associate head coach of this program. Billy Lang left in September, and he was elevated to the head coach position.
Yeah, I got to do a few of his games when he was at Penn. Of course, he was successful at Cornell, went to BC in the ACC, and then on to Penn, and now at another Big 5 school. He's a Philly guy and one of the nicest people in the business.
Now, both coaching staffs, both head coaches, Coach Donahue, Coach Young, effusive in their praise for one another.
Yeah, they've become good friends through the years. Both of them have similar philosophies about how to do things offensively, defensively, and how they run their program.
Johnson with the takeaway. The sophomore in transition.
That's a scouting steal right there. He knew the play that was coming.
Tech forces a turnover.
Avdalas so good in transition, has great vision. Good job of getting back that time by St. Joe's, though.
Avdalas too strong. Anthony Finkley out of Philadelphia. Justice Ajabal. Finkley, left baseline. Glover Toscano, St. John's transfer with 3 turnaround shots. Won't get the friendly bounce. And it'll stay with St. Joe's when we come back. A couple early dunks here, Mac McCarthy.
Yes. Tyler Johnson switches right here, hand in the passing lane, and the sophomore says, I got this. For a while. Evan, both teams played really physical games on Saturday. I think that's going to continue here this afternoon.
First few minutes, early indication says yes. Here's Deuce Jones the second, one of the top scorers, not just on St. Joe's, but in the A-10. He's on the floor, there he is on the back door, and Lawal says, get that out of here, with the rejection.
Yeah, Jones Jr., Jones the second, had the back door cut, but rejection.
Avdalas at the opening basket. Hammond off a screen from Dorn. And a whistle from Lee Cassell. We've got an all-star crew tonight.
Phil Covington, Lee Cassell, Roger Ayers. Dorn you mentioned in the game, and also a new center, Jaden Schutt, for the Hawks.
Avdalas downhill through contact.
So good, he just probes. He doesn't have to explode by you. He kind of probes the defense, waits for an opening. See the hesitation, gets a little bit of advantage. Defense is in a bad place, and he jumps in, creates that contact, finishes, and goes to the free throw line. I know a lot of Hokie fans have been waiting to see. Dorn did not play the first game, and of course, the Providence game was back and forth so much, he didn't get as much time as he probably expected. I would look for him to be on the floor more here tonight for Mike Young's group.
Deuce Jones, A-10 Rookie of the Year last year at LaSalle, trying to create. Avdalas looked like he got a hand on it, but last touch by a Hawk. Hokies take possession back.
Neither one of these teams press very much unless just necessary, sometimes on dead balls. Both teams have stayed in that man-to-man as expected.
Hammond, rising fire, foul line jumper.
Another guy who's more confident as a sophomore, obviously, than he was as a freshman, has really played well in fall camp for Coach Mike Young.
Scored over 20 in the exhibition. Hokies on a 7-0 run. Bank not open. Long rebound for Hammond. We'll slow things down. Lawal picked up by Finkley. The pump fake. No, the second effort. Lawal with another highlight reel play.
Yeah, we know he can jump high, but how quick did he jump?
He makes it look effortless sometimes.
Yeah. Watch how quick he responds and gets up. He's an amazing athlete. You've got one of the best freshmen in the country and maybe the best athlete in the country on this Virginia Tech team.
Is that play coachable?
No, not at all. Not at all. You know, we talked about that. When you see a spectacular play and you can describe it, it's not special. But if you can't describe it, it was special.
It's one of your best lines. That's a good one there. You've got a lot of good ones. Finkley, a little too strong. And the Hokies and Hammond, a bit of contact. Hansberry off a great feed from Johnson makes it a double-digit Virginia Tech lead.
Great pass by Johnson and a great post up by Hansberry. He held that contact and created that passing angle. This is something else Hansberry can do. He can guard a smaller, quicker guy.
And the second effort, it's Austin Williford there under the basket.
Yeah, he'll be familiar to a lot of Hokie fans. Jason Williford, his dad, great player at UVA, longtime coach. Now at Georgetown, his son from St. Anne's Belfield in Charlottesville, a really good freshman.
Hansberry is rejected. And there's Finkley, who's been active as a rim protector early.
Yeah, he's been good on both ends of the floor. Hadn't got a lot of production, but he has been active and a factor down low.
Also a really good three-point shooter throughout his career.
Yeah, he's averaging already 14 and 3.5. Good free throw shooter, good offensive rebounder. We talked about Haskins, but that's a nice pair of forwards for Coach Donahue.
Eight seconds to shoot. Shoot, open look, you bet.
I'll tell you, Mike Young is one of the best in the country at baseline out of bounds. And of course, special teams, special situations always has been big in Blacksburg.
Largest lead of the first half for Virginia Tech. Glover Toscano. Jones into the hands of Hansberry. Hokies force the turnover. Hammond drops it off for Johnson. The sophomores make the play.
Sharing the basketball.
And a timeout. What a start on this Wednesday night. But previously, 10 years as the head coach at Penn. Take you back to the 2018 Ivy League Championship. What a game this was.
Yeah, at the Mecca, the Palestra. If you haven't been there, you need to go. Coach Donahue was no stranger to the NCAA tournament, and what a win this was.
Against a really good Harvard team. Coach Donahue, there you see Cornell head coach, Boston College head coach, and most recently at Penn, as we just showed you.
Yeah, he's hit 2 of the Big Five. I don't know if he's going to go for all 6 of the Big Five, which we'll explain later.
His team converts under the basket after the timeout. Justice Ajabal. Hokies shooting over 50% early. Hansberry, cool, calm, collected, draws the foul.
Yeah, we talked about both these coaches, not only good in special situations, but the ATOs, after timeout possessions, they score a pretty high percentage.
To the line for the Hokies, 13,
Amani Hansberry, what a start to his Virginia Tech career. 2 games, 2 double-doubles, 17 and 11 against Providence, and really the basket that put that game away in overtime.
Yeah, he made some big stops. He made some key baskets, especially like you mentioned down the stretch in that game. He's been good from the free throw line, 5 out of 6 on the season so far. And he's just versatile. You know, he can play 5-4. He can guard a 3 or a 2.
Meanwhile, for St. Joe's, Mac, what do the Hawks need to do to get things going offensively?
Well, they haven't solved the defense down here. They've got to execute. A lot of their shots have been rushed or contested. You got to execute a little better.
That's down Jaden Glover Toscano with a hand in his face.
Yeah, and the Hokies made a nice switch there, but they didn't switch aggressively enough. Glover Toscano now is an outstanding player. We talked about Deuce Jones. Toscano is really a great scorer also. The transfer from St. John's, as you mentioned.
Late in the shot clock. Bedford turns, fires. Hansberry. Johnson banks it in.
It still counts. That's what Tyler Johnson is saying right now.
What time do Banks close? 7, 8?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's 7:22 right now on the East Coast.
6, 7, something like that.
Finkley, long three, unable to answer.
Yeah, Finkley didn't look good right there. He's a 40% three-point shooter. Didn't look good on that one. Good defense by St. Joe's. They've got numbers.
Deuce Jones coming off that 29-point outing against Drexel with the left hand. Yes.
Deuce Jones is so he went 1 for 10 the first night, then came off the bench, and like you mentioned, 29. And speaking of somebody who can shoot it,
Jaden Schutt makes it 28-14 Tech. Hokies are shooting 52% from the floor.
and this team, Coach Young said, we're going to be able to run more. We've got more depth. We've got more athleticism. We got skills. And we're going to be able to offensive rebound, and they're doing both of those things here early in the season.
Bedford gets the friendly drop off the iron.
Another guy who had a big game against Providence on Saturday.
Myers. Nobody there on the kick out. Another St. Joe's turnover.
6 turnovers for the Hawks, and several of those have led directly to baskets on the other end.
8 of Virginia Tech's 30 points have come off of those St. Joe's mistakes.
And the Hokies are dominating in the paint. We talked about the shooters, but 18 points already in the paint here tonight.
Thrilled to have you on your Wednesday night. Evan Hughes, Mac McCarthy, alongside our entire outstanding ACC Network crew. Pair of 2-0 teams. And if you're just tuning in, Virginia Tech and its offense has been one of the main stories early. Avdalas just checked back in. He's got 4. Drops off for Johnson, and he's met at the rim. Jones, step back 3, won't fall. And Lawal's pass intercepted, and the left-hand finish, Glover Toscano.
Yeah, we talked about it. 6'4", out of Brooklyn, New York. Great one-on-one skills. That time knocked the ball loose, kept the Hokies from fast breaking, and scored.
Avdalas, yes, with the right hand, absorbing contact.
Yeah, doesn't look strong, but he's physical when he drives the basketball.
Pull-up 3, Finkley, back rim.
Good look. Better looking at Toscano. Glover Toscano almost got another one.
And that'll take us to the under 8 media timeouts. Hokie. Welcome back, Castle Coliseum. Hokies leading 32-16. And it's the reigning ACC Player of the Week. Neo Avdalas turns, shoots, and misfires.
Got to where he wanted to off the dribble, couldn't convert.
Willa Ford, the freshman, cans the corner tray.
Yeah, you get a defensive stop, get out in transition, you get a higher percentage shot. So far, St. Joe's only shooting 37%, but that kind of shot will help.
Pasha, the Delaware transfer. Off the side of the rim. Rebound from Simpson, the point guard. Glover Toscano has shown his range. That's a long 3. Clanks front iron. Pasha driving, finishing with the right hand. under the baskets.
Yeah, he plays similar to Avdalas. He's not nearly as big, though, but he has some of those same skills that transfer from Delaware.
8 different Hokies have scored in the first half. Glover Toscano, intercepted by Pasha. Lawal will take it all the way in transition, leaves that short.
Nice job by Simpson contesting that shot. Good transition. I thought St. Joe's might get a good look.
Finkley guarded by Schutt. Play on, no whistle. Williford looks to create. Finkley probing the baseline. And a jump ball whistle, it'll stay with the Hawks.
Second for St. Joseph's, 15, Steven Salon.
Again, the change of pace, create the contact, lay it up, head up, Pasha. Yeah, but you know, that when the left arm extends like that, you usually get the charge call on that. But this has been a physical game. You know, we talked about it at the top. You got a really good officiating crew and 2 teams that like to get after it.
That's called on Virginia Tech, number 0.
That's a foul against Jalen Bedford off the ball. That's the first team foul against the Hokies.
Yeah, I was looking at St. Joe's 0 free throw attempts, and of course the Hokies haven't been there a lot, just 3 for 5.
Jones open, he'll make you pay.
Oh, he's really good. You mentioned LaSalle transfer, 29 in the last game with 12 made free throws against Drexel.
Hansberry has shown the range early, not that time. The feed inside from Haskins. Layup off the mark. Tech in transition. The lob from Avdalas and Lawal. Another exclamation point.
When you get a great passer with a great athlete, that's the kind of play you get.
Right hand layup from Jones. That might be on SportsCenter tonight.
Those 2 might be on SportsCenter quite a bit, to be honest.
Avdalas with 10 to work with on the shot clock. Step back 3. Swirls around.
In transition, run the floor. You don't have to throw it perfectly for Lawal to get the finish.
How difficult is that pass from Avdalas to throw it to that such of a high point?
You've got to have great vision. You've got to have great skill. You have to have touch on it, just like a quarterback.
13-point Hokie lead. Johnson steps in front of that pass. Hansberry gets in on the action.
That's what I'm talking about. Avdalas saw where he was going to go before he even caught the ball.
Under 4 minutes until halftime. Jones. Rebound from Solano. Tech basketball. Bedford.
Can't leave him open.
Jalen Bedford. 18 points against Providence, 13 against Charleston Southern. UNLV transfer gives Virginia Tech its largest lead of the first half.
Yeah, he and Schutt are in close competition to who's the better perimeter shooter when they're left wide open.
A right-hand finish, pretty move. Derek Simpson in the lane.
Yeah, I really like him. He kind of keeps things calm out there. Averaging 10 and 6.
Mac, what's been most impressive about Virginia Tech offensively here?
They just share the basketball. They're always making the next pass.
Finkley by himself. Lawal got a piece of it. In transition, Avdalas, Johnson, left hand finish.
And again, fumbling the ball in transition, back to the play. He still knew where he was going to go with that basketball. Good job by the Hokies running the floor, too.
Haskins through traffic, lost the handle. And here's Tech again. Corner three. Too strong, too much from Tyler Johnson.
Hokies playing at a much faster pace than they have the last couple seasons.
Finkley wanted an early three in the possession, too strong on the other end.
Mike Young wants to talk about this possession.
Timeout, Virginia Tech.
Hokies are best in transition, and this is one of the reasons why. You got bigs that can run the floor. You've got a great passer, heads up, looking for his teammates, and watch the reaction from the bench. Those Suns are something else.
Duke with the win last night against Army.
On the road at Army.
Yeah, really cool scene. Welcome back, Castle Coliseum. Schutt off the mark. Just over 90 seconds left until halftime. If you're just joining us, Virginia Tech shooting 50% in the first half. A lot of different contributors.
Yeah, again, I think this is going to be a really balanced team. We talked about the fact that they have 5 guys averaging in double figures and 2 more at 8.5 and 8. Of course, when you score 107 and 98, a lot of people score double figures.
Derek Simpson, 31 starts at Rutgers. His second year at St. Joe's, defended by Schutt. Skip pass to the corner, catch and shoot three, and air ball, but that's off the shoulder of Tyler Johnson, who's tied for a game high with 9 points.
He again has just improved and understands. He was good as a freshman, but he is so physical and he's probably the toughest guy on this team.
High praise for just a second-year player. 8 on the timer.
He might have been the toughest as a freshman.
Glover Toscano with 1 to spare. Lawal couldn't bring it in, and Johnson swipes that away. Hammond all by himself to the rack in transition.
Really good decision making right there. Hesitated and then split the defenders.
Hammond, what a defensive move. Surveying what's behind him. Back-to-back baskets for the sophomore Ben Hammond from Manassas.
Yeah, can't block it if you can't catch him, and Smith couldn't get there in time.
Simpson misses the left wing three. Second chance under the basket, drops in Glover Toscano. 10 seconds for Tech to work with. Hammond has the hot hand, creates for Hansberry, and that'll do it for the first half.
A really physical first half, Virginia Tech. We know they can score. They did that again, but they were really good on the defensive end, doing it.
And on this Wednesday night, thrilled to have you. Both teams starting fives on the floor to begin the second half.
Hokies ran a play to lob for Lawal, and they took that away. And instead, Hansberry, who always seems to struggle in the first half from three, but heats up in the second half.
Simpson had 18 against the Hokies last year with the right hand, drills it outside the lane.
But nice patience. He kind of let the defense get out of position and knock down a little 10-footer. Good start for St. Joe's trying to cut back into this big Virginia Tech lead.
Avdalas Right back to him. No look pass far corner. Hansberry behind the free throw line. Leaves it short. Great hustle from Lawal.
He can just go get it, whether it's above the rim or chasing it down on the floor.
Step back of Avdalas won't drop. How about a third opportunity on this possession? Bedford with 6 on the shot clock. Lawal with 2. Third time's the charm for Tech on that possession.
What a possession for Virginia Tech. Deep in the shot clock, and Lawal, not the most likely three-point shooter, but a solid three-point shooter, and something that he really has worked on in the offseason.
On the other end, Simpson. Avdalas the board. Hokies in transition with Johnson. Lawal tries it again. Not that time, and it's Glover Toscano the board. Averaged a little over 6 minutes a game last year at St. John's, turns it over.
Glover Toscano, a little miscommunication right there. Deep in the shot clock, Bedford can't get it off. Good job by Simpson. And late on the closeout, and Tobi Lawal with confidence.
Had a SC top 10 transition dunk in the first half. 7 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 blocks.
It's amazing how much he has improved. You know, like we've talked about before in previous broadcasts, he didn't play basketball his whole life.
Talked about at ACC tip-off when he declared for the NBA draft and came back, he wanted to understand how to make reads a little bit more and expand on his versatility. He has shown that.
Yeah, and he talked about how going through that draft process really helped him, opened his eyes, and showed him what he needed to get better at. He's also made tremendous progress in the weight room with strength coach David Jackson, too.
Former Hokie great. Jones, long 2. Closeout from Avdalas.
And this is a good basketball team Virginia Tech is beaten up on.
Lawal, patient, drawing the foul. Yeah, no doubt, again, St. Joe's, 22 wins last year.
Back-to-back 20-win seasons, 24 in the school history, and they have the second most production returning in the A10.
And that's a league, I mean, that's a really good league that produces some great NCAA tournament teams.
VCU, Dayton, St. Louis, Richmond, on and on. A lot of good basketball played in that league.
There's more. They have George Mason playing well.
Yeah, they're off to a really good start.
They come to Castle Coliseum in December.
Always big when you play an in-state game.
Avdalas, the turnaround J from the elbow.
Does he make the game look easy?
He really does. And on the other end, pretty scoop layup, Derek Simpson.
Yeah, Mike Young won't be happy about that. Not paying attention to transition, not getting back ahead of the ball.
And last year, an 82-62 win for St. Joe's over the Hokies. And one of your favorite venues.
The Palestra. Hokies going against a 2-3 zone now.
Bedford knocks down the corner 3.
Doesn't matter if you play man or zone, you've got to find Bedford.
The cut, Jones is fouled. Going back to Jalen Bedford for a moment, because if you think about how he finished last year at UNLV, double figures in 10 of his final 11 games. Here at Tech, 13 against Charleston Southern, 18 against Providence, and tonight Bedford's got 8.
Yeah, and I don't know that a lot of people were talking about him being in the starting lineup, but he has absolutely earned it in the summer and the fall camp.
Jones coming off that near 30-point performance, lost the handle. Avdalas, play on, no whistle. 8 on the timer. Bedford extended that right elbow.
Yeah.
58-31 your score. Hokies have outscored the Hawks 11-4 in the second half. When we come back, shorts of the St. Joe's basketball players, it reads, "The Hawk will never die." How about that, partner?
I love that tradition. It's got to be one of the best in college sports.
There you see, top right corner of your screen, the Hawk flapping the wings. And we were wondering what time he was going to come out. He did not appear until right around tip-off, and rightfully, we were talking about stay in the locker room as long as you can, right, before you got to come out?
He can't stop once he's out in public. That is so good.
Good form there?
3,500. No, I could see a little more extension there, but it's hard to critique somebody doing what he's doing.
Sign me up for going to the auditions.
Little 1-3-1 zone right now. Different look. And the Hawks get a stop.
And the block from behind by Johnson. What a night the sophomore's having. On the offensive end, with the left hand, Tyler Johnson doing it all.
See, that's like the guy in the outfield making the catch and he's up at bat first. If you make the block, you ought to get the shot at the other end.
29-point Hokie lead. Jones, one of the top scorers for St. Joe's. Off the mark, second chance, Haskins delivers.
A lot of contact in there. This game is not for the faint of heart, for sure. And the players adjust. I love it. It's a 1-3-1.
Late in the shot clock. Skip pass, far corner. Lawal lost the handle with one. Out of bounds with 1.5. It will stay with Virginia Tech.
Yeah, and I don't know whether they'll say he had possession and reset the shot clock. Nope. So tough situation for Virginia Tech. Catch and shoot.
Shoot, got it off.
It's about as good a look as you could get with 1.5.
Haskins, the jab step, and the triple.
Get him coming to life. Did we say we'd see more of him in the second half?
Desir Haskins out of Willingboro, New Jersey.
And he's the one causing trouble in this 1-3-1 at the top, at the point of that zone defense.
Ball movement from Tech. There's Dorn under the basket. A goaltend. And the freshman's first points inside Castle Coliseum.
Yeah, it'll be the first of a lot. He's a good player, and that was a nice pass by him. A little shot fake, little pass fake, and found the big guy down low with position.
Coach Young said when he signed that he brings a unique combination of size, skill, and toughness.
He's another tough guy. And we've seen that toughness on the defensive end here tonight. And some people were asking about the defense after giving up 101 to Providence. I think they got their answer.
Azubal tied up with Schutt. Possession arrow remains with St. Joe's.
Azubal, great shot blocker. Not much of an offensive player, but number 5 in the nation in block shots a year ago.
He had 8 blocks in the Hawks NIT game against UAB. Under the basket, there is Deuce Jones, who's going to be a big part of this St. Joe's team this year.
Yeah, he's an explosive guy. We talked about Glover Toscano. Derek Simpson is a solid scorer also. They have a lot of weapons.
Lawal all by himself.
Yeah, that's not a shot he could have made last year. He's stronger and more confident.
Haskins feeling it with the step back. Strong rebound from Johnson.
His fourth, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, 1 block.
Hammond had that stripped out of his hands. Will stay here.
It's a play right up through the chest of the best, one of the best shot blockers in America. Well, that was Amadou that time. Sorry about that.
Still 6'9", very tall presence. Now Amadou, the Marquette transfer.
Yeah, I gave it to Ajabal.
The St. Joe's team does have some height on it.
Oh yeah, Solano in now, 7 foot 260.
Shoots. Yes.
Baseline out of bounds. Special situations. Mike Young dialing it up.
Near corner, Simpson. Deuce Jones, reigning A10 Rookie of the Year. Looking to create off the deflection. That'll work. Jaden Glover Toscano says thank you very much on the deflection.
Yeah, he can get his shot off now. Four-star recruit.
Avdalas, other end, right back at you with the triple.
Well, he's sure giving up some nice assists. That time he received one with the skip pass.
Both teams trading threes. Reigning ACC Player of the Week, Neo Avdalas.
Shoot from the top of the key against the zone. Defense is late. And then the skip pass to Avdalas. But they decided Drexel has been successful enough. We'll put them in there. Like the Big Ten is not 10 people. The Big Five is not 5 people. And they have this in-season tournament, and the team that wins 2 in their pod, they play for a title, if you will, the city title. And basketball is so big in Philadelphia.
No doubt.
They love their college basketball.
I think it's so cool to have, even though those are regular season games, the tournament feel of it, the bragging rights.
Oh, yeah. An in-season tournament like that.
Avdalas, Hansberry at the rim.
Yeah. You know, like a quarterback leads the receiver to the opening, he led the receiver to the rim.
He's had a couple of those perfect passes. Solano couldn't control that entry pass. Hokies in transition. Avdalas shows the range.
Been on the receiving end and the giving end.
Coach Donahue talked about it with us today, about how he could just impact the game in so many different ways. He could set up his teammates, he can score it.
Yeah, do you take away his scoring and he leads to scoring for someone else, or do you try to play off of him and then he scores? So there's no real good answer for one of the best freshmen in the country.
Much longer three from Avdalas, left iron. And Sincere Jones tiptoeing the baseline.
There's a little lob pass in the lane from Avdalas. And here, penetrate into the paint, kick it back out. And Avdalas doing special things.
14 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds.
11 on the shot clock.
How about Jones, the effort to keep possession?
Yeah, he, like everybody else out there, is playing really hard. And of course, when the shots are going in, sometimes it's easier to play hard. But both these teams have continued to give good effort, even though St. Joe's is down by a considerable margin.
Jones. St. Joe's and Finkley pushing. Works on Avdalas. And he lost the handle. That's turnover number 17 for St. Joe's, averaging less than 9 in 2 games.
And Avdalas has gotten a lot stronger just since he's been here, and he didn't get here till late summer. But you can see the change in his body already also, which is something that he's going to really have to work on at the next level, where folks think he's going to be a lottery pick.
A foul against Tech quickly. The 17 turnovers. Is that about what Virginia Tech's doing? Has that been a little bit on St. Joe's? What do you kind of credit that to?
Yeah, I think it's been Virginia Tech's defense, not necessarily steals, but putting a lot of pressure on the basketball and denying the next pass. Maybe a combination, but I think Virginia Tech's been much better defensively, and I know that was a point of emphasis for Mike Young coming back from Providence on this pretty quick turnaround.
Finkley, not that time. Second chance. Makai Johnson.
Finkley had a good look at it that time, and you can see the form. It's good, but he has struggled tonight.
If you're just joining us, Virginia Tech got out to a big run early. The Hokies have led by as many as 34. And Virginia Tech ready to bring in 5 at the scores table as Hammond unable to bank that in off the glass, but will go to the line.
Yeah, the Hokies are always attacking, whether it's off the dribble or running down the floor, and have been more conscious of offensive rebounding with this group too. And some of that is just athleticism, some of it is depth. And I think Mike Young is excited about the fact that he thinks he can wear people down with the depth. And that being said, we have a line change from the hockey coach over there, with 5 Hokies looking to come in the game.
Checking back in for the Hokies, 0, Jaden Schutt. Number 1, Tobi Lawal.
And early second week of the season to be able to get some of the younger players extended minutes like this, that's a luxury, I'm sure, right, Coach?
It really is. And, of course, 3 starters came back in, along with Dorn and Pasha getting ready to check in for Hammond.
Hammond, 8 points, 5 assists, and there's the Delaware transfer, Isaiah Pasha.
We'll see Pasha at the point guard spot with this group out there.
The finger roll from Deuce Jones.
Yeah, that was a good job by him. Beat Bedford, who's a good one-on-one defender. Tell how good Deuce Jones the second is.
He's in double figures. 9 minutes to go on this Wednesday night. Pasha finds Johnson. Lawal lost the handle and a shot clock violation.
Good job by St. Joe's. That time they cut off the penetration and recovered to whoever they kicked it to.
And on the theme of turnovers, again, Mac, you brought this up, but I think for context, worth bringing back up again. Against Providence, Virginia Tech, 2 turnovers, final 25 minutes. Today, Hokies, 5 total turnovers.
Yeah, just 2 in the first half.
Lawal climbed the ladder for that rebound.
I don't know if I've ever seen just 4 turnovers in 45 minutes. That's pretty amazing.
Pasha, kick to Bedford. Lawal got by his defender, up and under, Tobi Lawal.
Little pose coming back down the floor. That's another shot he did not have in his, artillery last year.
Finkley backing down Lawal, turns, patient, chance for a 3-point play. Anthony Finkley. A 79-45 lead for the Hokies. We'll pause and return after these messages.
Yeah, he really works hard. Look at this deep post up. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and the 3 for the cherry on top.
He has been efficient as well. 50% from the floor.
The Hokies have been efficient in this second half from 3-point range, 6 out of 11 in the second period.
Pressure on the inbound. Bedford in trouble there in the corner. Jump ball possession with Tech.
Mike Young and staff worked quite a bit against zone and man pressure. Of course, you want to do that early in the season. You never know where you're going to run to it. And this is not a pressing team by nature, but of course, the score dictates that they try to speed this game up a little bit and get more possessions going down the stretch.
We've seen St. Joe's go to a zone in the second half, and now pressure. Hokies able to break it.
Pasha's very good in the open floor.
And the foul on Deuce Jones. Jones mentioned that he was outstanding last year at LaSalle. Averaged over 14 a game in A-10 play. And then regular season finale, he had 27 points against St. Joe's. Then a couple weeks later, he was with the Hawks.
Yeah, and a big rivalry game on Saturday against Drexel, where he had 29. And a little chippiness. Pasha called for the offensive foul right there, and they're going to take a look at it.
Our officials, Roger Ayers, Lee Cassell, and Bill Covington Jr.
See if the contact was excessive.
The previous call on the floor is being reviewed for a hostile act.
That's new verbiage.
It is.
Hostile act. Here's a look at it. Jones looks like he gives him space, and yes. Don't know that they'll see that as an offensive, a basketball play, if you will. He did extend and catch him with the elbow, so it could be, I think, by definition, a flagrant one. Certainly wasn't intentional. Still a lot of contact, though. The Hokies have looked like they've done another line change. Looks like they have 5 subs.
On a veteran crew.
Yeah, and we talked. It's been a physical game, but I don't think there's been anything excessive about it, and I don't think it was excessive here. Although, again, it was a lot of contact. So the fact that it wasn't intentional doesn't mean it still couldn't be elevated.
Take another look.
And he was not in the offensive player cylinder, I don't think. The cone, if you will.
After review, the ruling on the floor has been upgraded to a flagrant one. St. Joe's will have 2 shots and the ball right here.
And there you have it from Roger Ayers.
Yeah, I like that. You know, I enjoy the officials coming over to tell us, but that's a much more efficient way of dealing with it. That's exactly what we predicted it would be. Unnecessary.
Jones 12 for 13 at the free throw line last game. These are the first free throws of the night for St. Joe's. A team.
He shot 51 in the first 2 games.
And just 2 now midway through the second half of this entire game. Those are 2 real big things for St. Joe's, their 2 wins, protecting the basketball and getting to the free throw line.
And tonight it's been really difficult in both those situations.
7.5 minutes to go. Pair of 2-0 teams. Myers steps back, long 2. Not that time. Lawal pulls down his 8th rebound of the night.
Myers, an interesting player, redshirted last year after knee surgery. Really explosive. Not a real big guy, but they really like this kid. Local product.
Hansberry. Back rim won't go.
Myers had a Newman Goretti, famous school in Philadelphia.
Glover Toscano dumps off Smith, a dribble and a layup on the right block.
Really nice play by Glover Toscano to create the help. Found the big guy, Smith, with the finish in with some contact. The Fordham transfer. He's out of Chicago, played for an AAU coaching legend named Mac Irvin. If you've recruited in college basketball, you've dealt with Mac Irvin at some point in time. One of the great AAU programs in the country.
Hansberry, the whistle, and the foul against the sophomore Jaden Smith. Fordham transfer.
Number 10, Jaden Smith, second personal, 15 foul.
That's the 5th team foul. 2 more will put Tech in the bonus. Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, the ACC Huddle crew will be at the University of Pittsburgh to get you ready for another full day of football with a 2-hour pregame show. They'll have game previews along with expert analysis and featured stories right here on ACCN and the all-new ESPN app. It's that time of the year. College basketball starting, college football, some meaningful games in November. It's a great time of the year.
Crossover season. Got to pay attention. Keep up with everything.
Jones with the right hand. Bank is open.
2-point basket off the bank by number 2, Deuce Jones.
He's up to 16 points to lead all scorers tonight. A whistle off the ball. Myers trying to defend Avdalas.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a mismatch right there.
How difficult Avdalas, again, his height at 6'9".
It's a foot. There's a foot difference between those two guys. I'm not good at math. It may be 11 inches, but it's a lot.
And just in general, too, for other teams to match up with Avdalas.
Yeah, I mean, you put a little guy on him, and that bothers him a little bit. But you put a big guy on him, he's too fast for that. And Schutt continues to shoot the ball very well here in the second half.
Jones, other end, short.
Schutt also gets into double figures. Hokies with 5 now.
Bounce pass of Dallas. Hansberry over the outstretched arms. What a find. What a play at the rim.
You've got to be kidding me. That was incredible.
And Avdalas, the block. He's got the board. Hammond. And the finish. Hansberry. Castle erupts.
The lob, anybody could have had it. Hansberry said, thank you very much.
Lead 8.
Back in this part of the country, originally from Maryland. You mentioned 18 and 12 against Providence. He's going to have quite a few double-doubles if he continues this level of play.
Glover Toscano. There's Kevin Kearney. Glover Toscano, high arcing, leaves the 3 short. And a whistle.
Nice job by Smith. Schutt did a good job of taking the 3 away. Then he contested that shot, but must have stepped out of bounds.
Yep. Good call there, partner. Couldn't quite see what happened.
Yep. He went down in a heap, thought it was a foul, but stepped out of bounds before the shot.
Christian Gerdak getting some minutes for the Hokies.
Gerdak's played well in limited minutes so far. Just another freshman.
Pasha gets it back. Gerdak cleans it up under the hoop.
He's got one of those bodies. People just fall off of it.
Freshman from Charlestown, West Virginia. Myers, the dump off. Great decision. And the dunk from Jaden Smith.
Yeah, you see a little bit of why they're excited about Myers. He actually tore his ACL as a senior in high school and recovered all of last year. And they think his explosiveness is back.
Pasha, big rejection. Kearney.
Kevin Kearney, another redshirt freshman. But here go the Hokies.
Hammond had the assistant transition last time. He finishes at the rim and will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, and Kearney got there just a little bit late, a little bit of contact.
Ben Hammond, a transition layup. He was fouled and converts the three-point play.
What a change of pace from Avdalas at point guard at 6'9" to Hammond at point guard at 5'11". Maybe 5'11".
It's been interesting to see them on the floor together.
And we will see it some for sure.
The right-hand Kearney, who's made an impact off the bench.
Yeah, he's making plays. The redshirt freshman from Brooklyn.
Jones creating space. That's off of the freshman from Churchland High School's hands.
He's been impressive in practice. That's exactly why he's getting some game time minutes here.
Williford, the freshman. Pasha, the box out, draws the foul.
Williford hadn't had a lot of time. Made a three early in the game, but he hadn't been on the floor a lot this evening. Played quite a bit. He was in that 6, 7, 8-man rotation those first couple games.
Hokies are in the bonus. Dorn replaces Gerdak.
To the line for St. Joseph's, number 10, Jaden Schutt.
Well, not the result St. Joe's wanted tonight, Mac, but this team in the A-10 going to be fun to watch this year.
Oh, they've got scores, they've got size, they've got solid guard play. They're going to be just fine in A-10 play, and the A-10 is good this year. VCU, of course, is good. Dayton is good. There are a lot of good teams in the A-10, but I think St. Joe's is going to be near the top of that league.
Nice night for Schutt with 4 threes. Hammond with 4. Crossover dribble, the right-hand floater, the tip-in Dorn, no, gets his own miss. That time, yes.
Stayed with it. Good awareness by Hammond to get it up on the rim. Good job by Dorn staying after it.
Kearney fades, fires, and hits.
Boy, very nice shot right there. Heavily contested, rose up, took his time.
Hammond, step back 3. Right side off the mark.
Had a good look off the ball screen. Smith stepping out.
Schutt. The ball fake. The kick out. Jones. Too strong.
A good look. Nice pass by Schutt.
Transition 3. Williford misfires with under 60 seconds to go.
Hokies will slow this down, get deep in the shot clock. Shorten this game, get this thing to the end. A very successful night for Mike Young's Hokies.
And they'll be back in action on Sunday with the Charlotte 49ers in the house. You'll have the call with Bailey Angle.
Looking forward to that. Charlotte's got a big team too. They've got several 6'9", 6'10", 6'11 guys, and they brought in a bunch of newcomers for Coach Aaron Fern down there. They won their first 2 games, then lost last night to a good Davidson team out of the A-10.
Dorn will go to the line. Hammond still creating.
But yeah, we'll be on the air at 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Like you mentioned with the great Bailey Angle.
Underline.
Doing the play-by-play.
Underline great.
Underline Bailey.
Dorn, 7-footer. Gerdak, 6'10". You're going to get Solomon Davis, 6'11". You think about the future of the front court for Mike Young.
Yeah, and Davis and Davis and Freeman over on the bench. A couple freshmen who looked good in practice. It's hard to crack this lineup with those folks that have been out there, like you mentioned, all these guys in double figures.
And the right-hand finish. It's Jaden Schutt, a Fordham transfer, a top recruit a couple of years back out of the state of Illinois.
Yeah, 4-star recruit, and you can see some of the talent right there. He's been pretty active tonight coming off the bench.
Number 10, Jaden Schutt, shooting 1.
Ozabaugh started, but hadn't played as much. Smith's been good on both ends, blocked some shots.
Shot clock dark. Ben Hammond, double figures, 11.6 assists tonight.
That'll do it.
Crowd will rise. 3 games to open the new season, all 3 for Virginia Tech. They score over 90 points in the win, and the Hokies are 3